Maybe sooner might have been better. I don't know.
James Byer says, hey guys, grateful for another session. How do you think Bret Hart or Randy Savage would have fared in the WCW of 1992 as opposed to later on in the 90s, as we know that there were talks about them potentially in 92? So what about bringing Bret Hart and Savage there in 92, a few years earlier?
Well, with their styles, they would have blended with anybody, anytime. And, maybe sooner might have been better. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? It depends on who you put them in an angle with. I think Bret Hart would, thrived under
You wouldn't
any.
have had Hogan there in 92.
Yeah.
So that big personality wouldn't be in the way, should I
It
say.
would have allowed them to become bigger stars, I think.
Yeah.
Without that roadblock to overcome. Who knows? That's one of those.
Yeah. Yeah. What if? Daisy Mama has a fun question. Do you prefer a 2-man or a 3-man announced team? And if you were to pair up for a match, and if they were to pair up for one match, do you think JR, Tony, and the King would be good together?
JR, Tony,
and the King.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Obviously, that's 3 of the best.
You'd have JR and the King, who were great together, and then Tony would just fill in. That's right. He would just be able to fill in the whatever.
He could just kick in some smart ass comment.
Yeah.
Pick his spots, and he would figure out a way how to be the star coming out of
that. Come out smelling like a rose.
Well,
right?
Yeah. If you got 3 guys, I'm just sitting here picturing that somebody's got to do the stats.
Yeah.
And do all the stuff. This happened at this date, so and so. What about this angle? Blah, 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 blah. Then you got the color guy that just flavors it with, putting the guys over, and then you would have one guy just kind of sitting there waiting for an opening to shine.
Yeah. Do you like the 2-man or 3-man? Do you have a preference?
I like 3-man.
Okay.
I like 3-man, yeah.
Darren Staley says, last thing, the amount of money I would spend to have seen Arn on Piper's Pit going promo to promo. Okay, I'll hush now. But that's kind of fun to think about.
Oh, I'd loved it. Woo! I would loved it. I'd love to, butt heads with him on a promo. Would not be intimidated one bit. I would love it.
Ryan, what kind of question is this? Why Red Lobster for your wedding reception, and how many cheddar biscuits were eaten on that day?
2 baskets, and I didn't have any money.
Well, there you go.
I didn't make any money at that particular point in time. When I left Pensacola, I want to say Pensacola, that full year, 84 bleeding into 85, I made like 30 grand. That ain't much money in the wrestling business when you're paying all your expenses out of pocket. There was no guaranteed money. It was, you paid for all your expenses. So Red Lobster was a big deal to me.
Hey, Arn, don't feel bad. Kurt Angle, he proposed to Giovanna at Applebee's.
Wow.
So there you go. We learned that on his show together. We laughed our butts off over it. Eating good in the neighborhood. That's where
that's what the advertisement says. I don't know about that.
I said, why Applebee's? He was like, well, that's where we had our first date, Paul. I'm like, this is just getting worse, dude. It's just getting worse.
I would take our joint.
Yeah, Red Lobster.
Yeah,
at least you can get some crab cakes there, right? Some shrimp.
Remember, it's not cheap.
And Darren Staley said, and remember, there was no. Think about he's being mean because he was like, and there was no endless shrimp in those days.
That's true.
Arn Anderson versus Larry the Lobster. Instagram. Larry. Oh man. My goodness. Arn, we'll save. If you have one more super chat, guys, throw it in. I'll do one more super chat. Otherwise, I'm going to start going into a few reminders here this week. This has been a lot of fun. We can't thank you guys enough for all being here, guys and gals. Lots of great questions, lots of great super chats. But this is your opportunity to have a little bit of fun with Arn, ask him some great questions. So we appreciate all of you. I got to talk about the shirt. This
Love it.
Great shirt here, the maroon. I love the maroon. Okay, it reminds me back of you and Ole and the maroon gear. But you can get it in a few different other colors. If you don't like the maroon, you can get this shirt at onetruesport.com. Finds all kinds of great stuff. The Horseman jackets are back. And so you can see it right here on the screen as well, 1tsport.com, or spell it out, onetruesport.com. But man, Arn, I've been so excited about the Horseman merch, your merch. Tully, I'm seeing Tully on Tullyvision wearing his Tully shirts that we're doing over at the store. A lot of great wrestling collections over there. So make sure you check it out, onetruesport.com. But a couple of Horseman jackets are already sold, Arn. Pretty excited about it.
Well, they're lightweight enough. You can just take them off, wad them up, throw them somewhere. They're fun. Well, they're fun. It's like that baseball jacket gimmick.
That's right.
Very, very durable.
They look just like you wore down to the ring.
Exact.
So good.
Exact.
And I'm working with the guy too to get digitized and embroider file for the Brainbusters. I want Brainbuster jackets just like those too. So really excited about the store. And so make sure you check out some designs. We're really excited about that. Also, make sure when you see Arn, we talked about all the places he's going to be. Check out those comic books. You still have some comic books with you, Arn, that you're selling?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, for those, it's a double whammy. It's an autobiography, which people wanted, right there, and it's done in comic book form, so it would appeal to your younger readers as well, I think.
It's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal read, and this is where you get to learn more about Arn Anderson. And so make sure you check it out. And he will have them in hand when you go to meet him. So he will make sure he has them at any of his appearances. I wanted to mention Ultra Pro Wrestling from Hyper Focus Games. If you're not following them on social, if you're not a part of their Patreon, get up with them, find them, follow them. Because in 2025, that video game is going to kick ass. I'm telling you, you're going to be able to be Arn Anderson. He's going to be a downloadable character. Magnum TA, so many wrestlers, Demolition, others. Arn's going to be a part of it. Over 100 free agent downloadable characters. So check it out for sure. You can follow them at UpW Video Game. And their Patreon is patreon.com/Ultra Pro Wrestling. And that's where you're going to find out exclusive content. That's the first place they're announcing more downloadable characters. And they're not done yet. Das Wonder Kid, Alex Wright, who we've been talking about here on the show, is someone else that they've signed on to that video game too. And he does all the dance moves and stuff too. I think I'm doing more of like the bushwhacker dance. But anyway,
you might want to just get past that.
I'm not going to do that ever again.
Yeah.
So yeah,
please don't.
Yeah, I used to have a friend that said don't sing. I just realized I don't want to dance ever again either. But Arn, this has been fantastic, man. Thank you so much for doing this with me and for doing this with all of us this month.
Thank you, guys. As always, we're a family, and we look after each other. And I hope you got a chance to step away from any pain in the ass things you got going on and just laugh a little bit.
There you go, for sure. Well, listen, we're going to be back on Tuesday, November 5th, 6 p.m. Eastern. Mark it down on your calendars. We'll cover the next month in Arn's career, so make sure you're back for that one. On behalf of Arn Anderson, the Hall of Famer, this is Paul Bromwell, and we'll see you in 2 weeks, November 5th, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on Arn